One day, a fly was buzzing around when she suddenly spotted a fake fly. She flew down and stared at it closely, feeling something strange about it. Right then, a grasshopper hiding behind a plant kicked her. The fly spun through the air and fell straight into the pond. It was the grasshopper's prank. A snail was passing by and also saw a fake snail. Curious, he slowly moved toward it and examined it carefully. The grasshopper kicked the snail too, sending him rolling into the pond. The grasshopper burst out laughing. Next, a big black beetle came by. He also got kicked into the water. Then a tiny ant arrived, and the same thing happened to her. After that, a butterfly came by, and even a real spider, and the grasshopper kicked each one of them into the pond. The grasshopper was having the time of his life, annoying everyone. A nearby bug watched all of this silently. The next day, the grasshopper noticed a fake grasshopper. He moved toward it, thinking it was real. But this was the bug's clever plan. The grasshopper fell straight into a pit, and then almonds dropped on top of him, trapping him. He finally got the punishment for annoying everyone. Insects competition. At one place, a lot of people were ice skating in the snow. At the same time, there was also a funny competition going on between a snail and a caterpillar. An ant came to start the race. As soon as she pressed the stopwatch button, the snail began skating, moving forward skillfully and crossing over small sticks on the ground. Everyone was watching with excitement. The snail crossed the finish line in 41 seconds. Then the caterpillar slipped and struggled a bit, taking 50 seconds to reach the finish line. So, the snail won the first round. Next came the long jump round. The snail jumped and landed 46 inches away. Then the caterpillar took his turn, and he broke the snail's record. This time, the caterpillar won. Finally, it was time for the skating race. The caterpillar jumped from a height and accidentally landed right on top of the snail. Both of them slid forward together and crossed the finish line at the same time. So the match ended in a tie.
One day, a group of wasps were performing stunts, flying quickly and at high altitudes, making a lot of noise. All the other insects in the jungle were watching their tricks in awe. But one bug, who was peacefully sleeping, was disturbed by the loud commotion. The noise ruined his nap, and he became very angry. He flew up and knocked one of the wasps out of the air, then decided to teach the whole group a lesson. The bugs flew from one wasp to another, scolding them all for being so loud. The wasps, furious, decided to take revenge and chased after the bug. But the bug was clever. He led them on a long journey through the jungle, showing them all the sights. As the wasps grew tired, the bug spotted a road divider ahead. He flew through it and landed on a flower, which was just about to bloom. The wasps, flying too fast, crashed into the divider. In the end, the wasps were exhausted, and their stunts came to an abrupt stop. Thanks to the clever bug, everyone in the jungle found peace, and the bug was finally able to get some much-needed rest.
One day, a tiny bug showed up at a trash can where a bunch of flies were living. On Valentine's Day, a little insect was on his way to meet his girlfriend. He was very excited because he had bought a beautiful ring for her. Full of happiness, he started his journey to surprise her. Suddenly, a crow appeared on the road. Frightened, the insect dropped the ring and quickly hid behind a stone. The crow came closer, picked up the ring, and flew away with it. But the insect did not give up. Determined to get the ring back, he climbed a tree and slowly made his way toward the crow's nest. When he finally reached the nest, he saw many shiny things kept there. He found the ring and tried to take it, but it slipped from his hands and got stuck on a branch. When the insect tried again to grab the ring, it fell down to the ground. Just then, a spider came along, picked up the ring, and walked away with it. Poor little insect had no other choice. In the end, he managed with a cane holder instead and gifted that to his girlfriend.
Inside a house, an ant was carrying away a chip she had stolen. Suddenly, a few bees noticed her and flew down to take the chip from her. Soon, many bees surrounded the ant and began trying to snatch the chip away. One bee lifted the ant into the air, but the ant refused to let go of the chip. The chip broke in half, and the ant fell to the ground and became unconscious. When the ant regained consciousness, she saw something moving behind some plants. It was the chips, but they had come to life. The living chips surrounded the ant, which frightened her. Terrified, she started running away, but the chips chased her. While running, the ant fell into a crack in the ground and fainted again. After some time, she woke up and realized it was all just a dream. She had dreamed that the chips had come alive. However, when she saw the real chip in front of her, she got scared anyway. She decided to leave the chip behind and walked away without taking it.
One day, a group of ants stole a cell phone from the beach and tried to carry it back to their home. While taking it inside, the phone got stuck at the entrance. Somehow, they managed to pull it into their nest and placed it in one spot inside. All the ants gathered around and stared at the phone. Suddenly, a call came in, and the phone started ringing. The ants loved the sound of the ringtone and stood there listening happily. As soon as the call disconnected, the ringtone stopped, and the ants went back to their work. The next day, whenever a call came, all the ants would immediately stop their work and run toward the phone. After the call ended, they would return to their tasks. This kept happening again and again. But after a few days, the phone's battery died and the phone turned off. When the ants realized it no longer made any sound, they picked it up and threw it into the junk storage room.
In a village, some people were playing with iron balls. Nearby, a group of ants was watching them play. The people were hitting one ball with another, and during the game, one iron ball was struck and rolled far away. The ants immediately ran toward the ball. When they reached it, they all worked together to lift it and carry it with them. They carried the heavy ball a long distance until they finally reached their destination. There, some ants were already standing with a walnut. The ants wanted to use the iron ball to break the walnut. First, the ants took the iron ball up a hill and dropped it onto the walnut, but the walnut did not break. Instead, it sank into the ground. The ants tried a second time. This time, they placed a piece of a broken pot under the walnut and dropped the ball again. The pot shard broke, but the walnut still did not crack. The ants made a third attempt. They placed the walnut on a large stone and dropped the ball. This time, the walnut bounced around like a rubber ball. Finally, the ants carried the iron ball to the highest hill. From there, they dropped it directly onto the walnut. This time, the walnut finally broke open. But then, something unexpected happened. Inside the walnut was a caterpillar. It had already eaten the walnut from the inside. All the hard work of the ants was wasted. One day, a little bug wakes up and starts walking around. As he looks around, he notices two insects sitting on a tap, romancing each other. The bug watches them carefully. Then, when they fly away, his eyes fall on the ground, where two more insects are busy romancing. Even the flies sitting on the trash can are cuddling with their partners. The bug observes all this with great attention. Feeling inspired, he decides to go find a partner for himself. First, he thinks a cherry looks attractive. Then he climbs onto a red ball. After that, he approaches a big bug, but the large bug scares him away. Just then, our little bug finally finds a potential partner, but suddenly another bug shows up, and now the two bugs start racing to win her. In the end, a third bug appears out of nowhere and wins the competition. Meanwhile, the first two bugs keep racing all night like fools, not realizing the partner is already gone. In the bathroom of a house, 3 flies were trapped in a spider's web. The spider who had caught them came by, thinking about eating them, and then left to prepare for her feast. One of the flies decided to escape. She tried spinning around and climbing upward on the web, but nothing worked. Just then, the spider returned and, seeing the fly moving, straightened the web and left again. The fly tried once more, climbing up the web, and this time the web snapped. She broke free. When the spider came back and saw only 2 flies left, she became confused. Suddenly, her own web gave way, and she fell down and fainted. Seeing the chance, the freed fly quickly bit through the threads, trapping the other 2. All 3 flies escaped together, saving themselves from becoming the spider's next meal. Near a dustbin, a lot of flies used to live. One day, A bug came there and started teasing the flies. This made the flies very angry, so they began chasing the bug. On the way, the bug reached another dustbin and started teasing the flies there too. Those flies also got angry and joined the chase. Then the bug went to a third place and teased another group of flies, so now a huge number of flies were chasing him. To escape, the bug suddenly changed direction and ran into a beehive to trick the flies. The flies followed him inside the beehive, but the bug managed to escape and came out safely. Feeling proud, he went off to bother a snail next. But when the bug looked back, he was shocked. Not only were the flies still chasing him, but now the bees were also coming after him to take revenge. The situation became a big problem for the bug.